today's video I'm going to be sharing some tips with you on how to deal with small pets that bite. I can't promise that these methods will work for everyone, but they absolutely will work for most people and can be applied to any small pet, whether it's a rodent, rabbit, guinea pig or whatever. If your pet is new, if you've only had it a couple of weeks, or if you have yet to start taming them properly, then these tips are going to be no good to you because you need to give taming a try first. If you own a rodent, especially a hamster, there will be a video linked in the description box on a step-by-step tutorial of how to tame your rodent. Remember, taming should be taken very slowly, one step at a time. Don't rush it, it can take several weeks or even months, and sometimes it just takes a couple of days, but give it a go, and if you're still having problems, then come back to this video. So, you've got a small pet and maybe you've been trying to tame it for weeks and weeks, and you're being prevented from moving forward by your pet being a constant biter. Maybe they like to nibble at your hand here and there, or maybe they give you a really nasty bite. Maybe you've had your pet a long time and it's always been well behaved and well tamed, but suddenly it started biting and you don't know why. Hopefully the tips in this video will help answer those questions for you and solve your problems. The first tip is the most important and should be done every time you go to handle your pet, especially during the taming stage, and that is to wash your hands with unscented soap, or at the very least floral scented soap. This is incredibly important because throughout the day you're going around touching things, different surfaces, different people, maybe food and other kinds of things, and you're getting all that smell and the sweat and the salt and everything else nasty all over your hands, and it makes them smell really strong to your pet. You may smell rather tasty to your pet now, or you may even smell threatening. So it's very important that we clean all that stuff off our hands before we go to handle them. The reason I stress using an unscented soap, or at the very least a floral scented soap, is because if you use something that smells sweet, you're of course not going to be helping yourself, and you may even encourage biting. Avoid using any soap that smells like vanilla, honey, fruit, chocolate, caramel, or anything else that smells sweet. If you're younger and you don't have control over what soap goes into your bathroom, then go out and buy a bottle of your own. Buy some unscented or floral scented soap, put it in your cupboard and use it whenever you're about to handle your pets. You can use liquid soap or a bar of soap, it really doesn't matter, it's all just about getting that daytime smell off your hands. Tip number 2, now that your hands are clean and smelling lovely, it's a good idea to make them smell a little bit more familiar to your pet. If your pet lives in a cage with substrate, then get a big handful of it and rub it all over your hands and up your wrists as well, and that's just going to make your hands smell familiar to your pet, so they're a little less afraid of you. If you have a guinea pig or rabbit that lives on fleece, just rub your hands all over that fleece, do the same thing, and get that familiar smell all over you. If you smell familiar to your pet, they are much more likely to be more confident around you and less likely to bite or nip. Tip number 3 is very important, and that is to never approach your pet from behind or from above. As prey animals, they spend their entire life being hunted, so they have built-in instincts to watch out for predators from above, i.e. birds, and predators from behind. Many small animals also have a blind spot right behind them. That means if you come in from behind, they may not see you coming and they may be startled and instinctively bite you. When approaching your pet, always come in from the front where they can see you and go slowly. Never rush in on them. Tip number 4 is quite similar to tip number 3, but it's important to talk about it because lots of people make this mistake. Never try to touch or handle your pet when they are asleep. This is the time when they are least alert, so if you startle them, they're going to act on instinct. That means biting, clawing, kicking, whatever it takes to get you away. Just imagine if someone walked into your room in the middle of the night and picked you up and started walking off with you. I think you'd freak out as well. In an everyday situation, there is absolutely no reason to wake your pet up. They should only be handled when they're already fully awake. Never wake them up just to play with them, that's unfair. If you do have a good reason for needing to wake them up, make sure you go about it slowly and carefully. Make them aware of your presence by clicking or squeaking at them. You could also rustle the substrate or tap on the floor to get their attention. This allows them to come to and be more alert of their surroundings and less likely to act on instinct and hurt you. Tip number 5, if you have a really bad biter, or if you're just nervous of being bitten, then get yourself some thick gardening gloves. Gardening gloves are designed for handling things like spiky plants, and most small animals will have a hard time getting their teeth through the material, making them perfect for handling a biter or handling an animal if you're nervous of them. Whatever you do, don't use rubber gloves or winter gloves. These will not protect you in any way. They are far too thin. Rubber gloves are also extra dangerous because if your pet bites off a piece of it and swallows it, they could suffocate if it gets stuck in their throat, or if it manages to make its way through their digestive system, it could become trapped in their intestines, which will be very painful and may require an operation to remove it. When it comes to taking off the gloves for the first time, I would highly recommend doing it slowly so as to transition your pet from being handled by gloved hands to non-gloved hands. To do this, keep a glove on one hand and have the other hand bare. That way you can handle your pet like normal on the hand it's used to, and then slowly pass them over to the bare hand. You can handle them back and forth, stroke them, or do whatever you need to get them used to you. And when you feel confident enough, you can take the other glove off as well, and you can handle your pet with bare hands. Tip number 6. If your pet has suddenly started biting, if it never used to bite before and was always well behaved and well tamed, there may be something causing stress to your pet. There are lots of subtle changes that go on in our lives that we don't really notice, but our pets do, and some of these changes can cause stress. Stress can cause many unwanted behaviours as well as ill health, so it's important to try and find out what may be causing this. Analyse all the changes that have happened in your home since your pet started biting, and see if you can find out what may be causing it. Have you recently moved home or started decorating your home? Is there painting or building work going on that may be causing unusual smells and sounds? Has your pet recently changed cages, diet, or substrate? Has a new animal come into your home in the last few weeks, or has your pet recently lost a cage mate? Has your pet been unwell recently, or are they coming down with an illness? This can be a very common cause for unusual biting, and you should give your pet a good health check or take them down to a vet for a quick checkup. Are there any TVs, computers, or large electronical devices in the same room as your pet? Because these give off very high-pitched sounds that we as humans can't hear, but our small pets definitely do hear, and it can cause some discomfort. Analyse all changes, whether big or small, that have happened in the last few weeks that may have upset your pet or caused any discomfort or stress. If you've found the cause and it's something you can't change, then just give your pet some time. They may need to get used to it, and hopefully after a few weeks their behaviour should go back to normal. If you've found the cause and it's something you can change, then absolutely go and change it straight away, because it will benefit both you and your pet in the long run. Tip number 7 is accepting that sometimes pets just have this kind of personality, and sometimes they just like to bite or nip. Biting behaviour can be due to many things, whether it's a bad experience in their past, whether it's a neurological problem, or whether it's just their personality. Try to learn to work around this, because if they're not going to be having lots of human interaction, they'll need other things to stimulate them throughout the day. That means a big area to play in and lots of toys and things to do. If you have an animal that can live socially, consider getting it a friend, but only if you have the financial ability to, and only if you have the space. If you have a solitary pet, do not get it a friend, even if it doesn't get along with you. It will not appreciate you for getting another animal to live with it, and I'm specifically talking about Syrian hamsters. No matter how much they don't like being handled, they will never enjoy living with another hamster. If your pet only bites when you try to pick it up, then just don't pick it up anymore. If it's a small rodent, then just use a cup or a tube or something like that that they can climb into, and you can use that to transfer them from one place to another. There we go. Those are my tips for dealing with small pets that bite, and I really hope they help you out. If they do help you out, let me know in the comment section below, because I love getting your feedback. Don't forget, if you found this video useful, helpful, or just enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up, because it helps this channel out massively to grow. You have no idea. And of course, you can share this video with your friends on Facebook and Twitter. Just hit the share buttons down below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more pet care videos. You can do this by hitting the little red button just beneath this video. Hit that and you'll always know when new videos are posted by this channel. Until next time guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye! Hello guys, welcome to part 6 of my Q&A answers. So before I start this video, I want to say a massive and personal thank you to one of you guys, because as many of you know, from Monday until Thursday, we had absolutely no electricity in our home. There was no lights, there was no running water, there was no plug sockets or anything, and it was really difficult and quite stressful. Of course, I couldn't get onto YouTube, and an added stress was that I was worried